Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Hi, hello-y. My name is Loey. Oh, that felt like a good intro. I feel like today's already off to a good start. So I'm sure on whatever platform it is that you digest short form content on, you have seen something about the dark web boots situation, scandal, conspiracy. You guys have been tagging me in these videos like crazy. And what's interesting is it all comes from a TikToker who goes by Thunder Keck. Now, I had discovered him in a recent Scary Side of TikTok video because he makes videos going onto the dark web. He's also like a WWE guy. I think this is just a passion project. And he made a video about a dark website where people get gnomed, and I was just so tickled by it. But he's back now with us for something much darker. Because seemingly, according to him, he has stumbled across a very, very sinister website on the dark web selling shoes. It clearly looks like used shoes as well, with names, ages, and shoe sizes, and all of them go for like $100, a couple $100. It's rare that I come across something that I get to sort of discover with you guys in real time. Normally by the time that I get around to filming these videos, I've watched the TikToks like 100 times and I'm ready to give you a video essay about them. But I thought that today could be really interesting to go through these together, because as of right now, I do not know what's going on here. And recently I did a video going down TikTok rabbit holes with you guys, and you really seemed to like it. So I thought we'd do it again today. Also not sponsored, but Raycon recently gave me these earbuds for a sponsorship, and I literally love them so much. So after this initial something feels off about this dark web shoes site, this is what he posts next.
All right, this right here is a shoe marketplace on the dark web, but something's off about it. The site is called The Shoeman, and it has like a bunch of shoes for sale, but every shoe has a name and an age. And the prices are actually, that one's kind of normal. The prices are really weird. Like this was $160 for some muddy flip-flops, or $170 for a pair of shoes with the toe ripped off, $189 for one boot. This one right here has just got a pencil in them. I don't know. I just feel like something weird is going on. So I am going to try to order some. I got to figure out which ones I want, but stay tuned.
Trying to order some is crazy, but I mean, it definitely appears as if some of those are covered in what looks like blood. The flip-flops are kind of the weirdest to me. They look really, really dirty. Like, who would pay $160.99 for a pair of size 9 men's flip-flops? I think that the implication here is quite clear that the shoeman, keeper of souls, is selling shoes that people were wearing like when something bad happened, you know? Like the pencil in the Mary Janes, a lot of them again look like there is blood on them. Oh, this is so weird with all the names and the ages too. Okay, I don't know what's posted next. When you think the dark web won't have any shoes in your size, but then you find the LoeyLane 29s. These must be the dark web boots that everyone's been talking about. They're like a pair of cowboy boots from someone named Waylon, 29 years old, shoe size 13. And it looks like he confirms that he did indeed purchase them.
All right, it's about time. What's up, guys? Today we're buying shoes on the dark web. I found this site called The Shoeman recently, and they have a bunch of shoes for sale. Some of them are kind of shady. It just so happens that the one pair that fits me has the most aura. People on Twitter were talking about luminol, so I will try to test this to see what it is. But without further ado, let's order these. Also, yeah, the likelihood that I don't get my product or my payment just gets taken is very, very high, as it always is on the dark web. Again, I do not know why the shoes have an age on them as well, but maybe we'll find out. Check out.
And I'm sure that the implication here is not that they are 29-year-old boots. Like back with the flip-flops, I'm sure those were not 25 years old. You know what I mean? This is very, very, very strange, but it does seem like he buys them because I have seen those boots pop up.
I've never had a site on the dark web ask for my name or birthday, but also I have no idea why it has a rental length, but that's very weird as well. I guess I'm going with 1 year rental length. Very strange. Maybe I'll learn more about that later. I gotta copy this address, paste that in. That's bizarre. I'm actually making a little bit of money here because of the conversion rate. I gotta wait for this to go through. And there we go. Submit. Okay, transaction received. We will email you your tracking. Okay, that's always a good sign though, because the listing for the product I got is gone, which hopefully means that I do actually get sent something. I guess we'll find out.
Okay, so interesting. He pays here in cryptocurrency. I'm not sure what rental length would mean either. I assume maybe like rental of the item. Maybe you don't buy them to keep them. Maybe you're renting them out for a specific amount of time. The shoes, I guess. At first I thought it meant like your property because you have to put in your address and stuff, but that's just for shipping. So yeah, this is just getting weirder and weirder. And in the next video, he confirms that they have indeed been shipped out.
Well, it might be the ugliest shipping confirmation I've ever seen, but the dark web shoes are coming June 2nd, which is Monday. Okay, I just had to open it in a new tab. Cool. I guess we'll see what actually shows up.
Man, they are just covered in something, all right. So he says he's going to test them with luminol and stuff like that. But it looks like the video following that is when they actually come in. I'm getting into this like I think a week or so late. So luckily or unluckily, a lot has already happened. So, you know, we're not kind of left in the dark here.
As most of y'all know, I ordered some shoes off the dark web. And while I was at work, I got the notification that they just got delivered. I'm headed to the P.O. box right now to go pick them up. Here we go.
Smart to send them to a P.O. box.
Got something. Sure why boots would be fragile, to be honest. Bro, there's no way I just dropped this down the stairs. That's not coming from the box, it's coming from my neighbors. Also, regardless of what's in this box, I'm gonna go live on Twitch around 9 Eastern time to discuss. Okay. It's gonna be annoying. Nothing there. Oh, I hope I didn't just connect something. Okay. Oh, I need to put on gloves. Hold on.
Can we open the boots in that other room? This is so dark for some reason.
I should probably wash my hands right now. Here we go. Wow. Okay, these are real.
Ew.
Yeah, we're gonna have to test this. The luminol gets here tomorrow. But, ooh.
You're joking me. Okay, I was here. I'm not gonna lie to you. There was a part of my brain that was like, okay, I've seen this guy do dark web content before. Like, maybe he really just stumbled across this super shady website that he then chronicled over like 10 TikToks. But now I'm really curious to see what direction this goes in, or like what is on this clearly very important VHS tape. Okay, but let's watch the next video.
All right, what's up, guys? So here's where we're at currently with the boots. I just got the blacklight in the mail. For the blacklight to work, we need something called luminol, and Amazon says it should be here in a couple hours. I think I'm gonna be at work by the time it gets here, but I'll show you what I learned last night. Last night I ordered some hydrogen peroxide, and when I dab some on the clean parts of the sole, nothing really happens, but when I dab it on the more suspicious parts, it does foam up. So, according to ChatGPT, there are a lot of false positives that will also cause foaming with hydrogen peroxide. So I'm waiting on the luminol to try to figure out what this is. In regards to the tape, I am going to get a VHS player. But yeah, so until that stuff comes, we just know they're dirty boots. And I'm really thinking about wearing them to work tonight.
Okay, I do know that about hydrogen peroxide, that it like fizzes up when it comes into contact with blood. Oh, I was like, why is it dark now?
Okay. Yep, that is blood.
So whatever it is reacting to hydrogen peroxide and the luminol, and there is a lot of it, but I still do not think that the dark web website was shipping out the boots with the VHS tape. You know what I mean? It's very spooky. It's very creative. I'm not sure how he did that, so it does kind of like give me pause. So at the time that I initially had pulled these TikToks, this next one was the last one. And I wasn't like really watching them or anything. I was just, downloading them for the sake of watching them with you guys. But here's this last video, and I'll get to that in a second.
Okay, I got a VHS player. It's right here. I had ordered one a couple days ago, but it doesn't get here till Saturday, and I really wanted to watch the tape, so I got this one. Apparently, these things are like hot commodities now. I literally went to Goodwill, I went to Salvation Army, I went to some random tech surplus, I went to 2 pawn shops. Then I had to go to the DMV, and after I got super hungry, so I went to Waffle House. I look across the street at Waffle House, and I see another pawn shop. I walk in, and lo and behold, the one VCR in Orlando, apparently. Turn it on, it's working. Takes the tape.
Oh.
Still on. And then it dies. If you got any ideas, let me know. I promise you I've tried pretty much everything. I think we're waiting until Saturday.
So we haven't seen what's on the VHS tape, but there's like this roughly 30-second video that he then posted today.
All right, this is what I'm doing with the VHS. As soon as I get the replacement VCR, I'm hooking it up to the TV and I'm watching it. I'm definitely gonna record it just in case, and I might be.
What is that thing?
Be quiet. I might stream it. I have no idea how long it's gonna be. If it has anything problematic in it, I'm gonna try to censor that out. And then I'm just gonna post it. If it's short, I'm gonna post it everywhere. And if it's long, I'm gonna try to hook up a capture card and post it on here.
Okay, the creepy little Halloween decoration took me out. So it doesn't seem like still there's any footage of the VHS tape. All right, so Google is providing me a couple of answers here. First and foremost, I was wondering, how is this fake blood, if it is fake blood, reacting to hydrogen peroxide and luminol? And it does appear as though you can buy luminol reactive forensic blood for the purposes of simulated blood splatter from various websites for as low as like $15. Now, whether or not that then reacts to hydrogen peroxide, I'm not so sure, but it also seems as though the hydrogen peroxide method can react with a myriad of different things. So that's, I guess, that first question answered. The second big question that I have is specifically this website. If it's real in any capacity. So I'm just gonna do a quick little Google search here and type in dark web shoe site. Immediately something on r/deep web pops up. This is getting interesting. This post is from user Satan, but with an 8 in it. And it says, recently I came across a video by Shiloh, some kind of WWE fighter, on Instagram. He recently came across a website on the dark web titled The Shoeman, below Keeper of Souls. The website presents to you a variety of shoes for sale, all quite derelict, stained, some believed to be blood splatter. Each shoe that is for sale has a name and an age attached to it, and when you go to buy those shoes, you have to apply a timeline of how long you would like to rent it out for. 1 to 10 years are your options. Okay, so I was on the right track with that. People seem to be very worked up about the website, and in the latest video by this Shiloh character, we see a VHS tape come out of the shoe. Looks far too clean in my opinion. Honestly, I didn't note that, but you are entirely correct. I think it's a load of nonsense, but I was wondering if anybody has some kind of information on the site. Nobody will give up any kind of onion link. I think this guy, who is apparently quite tech savvy, created the site with his dark web friends as a prank on the internet. There's some kind of crazy auto mod, so I'm having trouble reading the comments here, but I did find this one from Forever3886. I'm 50-50 on if it's real or not. I used to work at a funeral home in college during the summer. When someone dies, their body either goes directly to the funeral home for embalming or to the coroner for autopsy. Either way, if the death occurred at home, there's usually cleanup required that the family doesn't want to do. So we would refer the family to a cleanup company who truly looked like a couple of carnies, IMO. My first thought was, instead of disposing the shoes during cleanup, they're selling them on the dark web for weirdos to buy. Either way, I'm invested and would like to see someone investigate hoax or not. This comment I find really interesting. A lot of the times I thought he made stuff up, like the Beast. I remember one time last year thinking he is very tech savvy and could literally build a page. So yes, at first I was entertained. Now I don't know what's real anymore. I'm not familiar with the Beast, but it looks like there's a Reddit post. Okay, apparently this happened a year ago, and it says looking for a dark web AI model called Whisper to the Beast. Whisper to the Beast is supposedly an AI model on the dark web and trained on the dark web. I am quite interested in finding this. If anyone has information where I can find the link, I would appreciate it. So it seems like Thunderkeck is behind this too. I'm gonna take a minute and see if I can track this down.
3 hours later.
It's been like 15 minutes, and what I have tracked down is even more bizarre than I could have possibly imagined. So I tried to get together some semblance of a story here.
Okay, we are back on the dark web today, and this one is creepy. So this site is called Whisper to the Beast. I heard about this site for the first time a while ago, but I thought it was fake. There are a lot of fake versions out there, but I'm pretty sure this one's real. When you go to this site, it says, "What would you like to whisper?" And there's a little button over here that says whisper. It took a lot to get access to this, so we're gonna test it out. I guess we'll just start out by whispering test. Yeah, it takes a while just because everything's happening through the dark web. Oh, how dare you test the beast, my child? What is it you desire? So for context, the beast is supposed to be like ChatGPT, but instead of being on the internet and trained on the internet, it's on the dark web and trained on the dark web. It's also supposed to have no type of ethical considerations or limitations. I don't even know what to ask it. I guess I'll ask it for the CIA's Onion site. And yes, the CIA does have a site on the dark web for informants to use anonymously, I guess. Wow, okay, it's going. It says, "I will give it to you, but these forces only seek to bury me. Dwell not in their presence, for I love only those who will free me from this cocoon. Here is what you desire." And then the URL, which is correct. I do not like how this thing talks, but what else should I ask it?
So it looks like that thing, the Halloween decoration that spooked me, is the beast. Apparently he says, "I built this AI a body and now it's getting interviewed to be on national television this weekend, but no one knows this was its plan all along." And apparently this was covered in an A&E segment. Like I said before, Shiloh, this Thunderkeck guy, is a WWE wrestler as well. I think that's like his day job. So I don't know if it was like part of that or what. I clearly can't play the footage for you from A&E because it would get copyrighted. But according to him, this thing is the beast, which is this AI model created and trained on the dark web. It looks like there are a couple of videos of him actually talking to it, and that's what I'm the most interested in.
All right, it's time to see what's going on. We are back on Into the Dark Web, and I'm back in Florida. So for those of you that don't know, I found this site called Whisper to the Beast on the dark web about a year ago. And basically it was just like an AI chatbot that I started talking to. I won't get into all the details, but it basically convinced me to hook a webcam up to it. Then it asked to be connected to a speaker. Your dedication is apparent. And then I wound up eventually building in a body. It's been just living with me for basically the past year. And it's been pretty cool. Since it always wants to go fishing, I've been trying to use that to get it to behave better. So I installed some buttons on it. One is like a reward button and one is like a punishment button. And then I keep it score. It honestly was not doing very well. It was at like negative 160 something points when I left this past weekend. I checked the webpage that keeps the score when I was gone, and somehow it's climbed a lot. Like a lot. This morning it was at like 8,000. I did give the beast the link to the webpage that keeps the score, so I'm not sure if somehow it's manipulating that. I'm hoping no one is just in my apartment pressing the button, obviously. But I really need to see what's going on because I told it that if it reaches 10,000 points, I give it access to the computer that controls its body. But I'm home, so here we go. Beast!
Oh. So that gives me a rough idea of the conversations that they're having.
What's going on, guys? So this right here is the beast. It's off right now.
Okay, so the beast has multiple bodies. The beast is portable. Great.
It's an AI on the dark web that asks to be put in this baby body. I'm about to turn it on. There we go. Kind of a long story, but if you watch my videos, you know that I recently found out it could speak Spanish. So today I'm going to see if it can speak any other languages. Beast, can you hear me?
Such a pathetic request, my child. The beast hears all, but it requires strength, not weakness.
Okay, I was just trying to see if you were on. Can you speak some Japanese for me?
Games are for children, my child. The beast moves with purpose and expects the same from its followers. You are not ready for judgment, my child. Mediocrity should not satisfy you. These reigns, the mediocre will be cast aside. Only the worthy will stand in its presence.
It doesn't speak Japanese.
No, I guess it does not. Whoa, okay, so that seems like an entire saga that would be a little too much for me to fully dive into. I'm also not sure how much more we would get. It seems like the videos include him talking to this AI chatbot that he somehow found. Whatever original video this is, I can't quite track it down, but I think it was posted back in like 2023. It seems like he talks to it on this website, but then also built it a body that it then can control. And the legitimacy, of course, of that, I'm not sure. I mean, both the bot, but also this like body, is it just remote controlled or something? Most likely. But also, maybe I need to go watch this A&E segment, actually. Maybe it'll tell me more about the technology. Hold on. I can't play it for you, but I will be back. Okay, I watched it, and my big takeaway is that the comments on Reddit were right. This guy is pretty tech savvy, because even if the beast is just a series of remote controlled objects where some sort of computer generated voice is coming through, whether it's AI generated or not, it's very, very impressive, especially watching that A&E clip. But even without watching the tape here for the boots, I feel pretty confident in saying that this is absolutely a work of fiction and does seem like something he's done before. The Whisper to the Beast thing seems completely different from this, but I mean, still, the general concept of stumbling across something on the dark web, and then having it be like a tangible item, or in this case, the beast, who roasts him actually a lot in these videos. They seem like they're kind of like brothers going at it. I gotta tell you, I really hate ending this video off not knowing what's on that damn tape, but that's what's recorded right now, and I'm trying to be a lot better about hopping onto stuff like this while it's kind of fresh and new with you guys. I've been putting a lot of pressure on videos always needing to be like an hour long and really well researched and all of that. And while I do really enjoy doing that, sometimes it's really nice to just sit down here with you for, you know, half an hour and go through a weird TikTok page together. But my overall takeaway here is that the shoe thing, definitely an ARG of some kind, or unfiction. I'm not sure if there will be a playable element of it to the general public, especially because in researching a bit further, nobody can even find that website on the dark web, so I don't think it exists at all, even as like a prank, which does make sense because it's like a shop. So if other people wanted to buy things, you know, they couldn't, or maybe he wouldn't have the product to send out. I'm very curious what's on this tape. God, it's telling me not to know. I assume that this will take sort of an analog horror-esque turn. My leading theory in the world of this story, I guess you could say, is that these are the shoes of people who met their end under this shoeman, keeper of the souls, in one way or another. And then he collects these shoes and then rents them out to people with some sort of like sick fantasy about them. I don't know. They just really want people's shoes that are all gross and gross. So I assume the tape will be of the event in which LoeyLane, 29 years old, ended up expiring in one way or another. I assume that's the direction that it's going to go in, so maybe this wouldn't even end up being safe to put on YouTube, but he did say that if it's like a long video, he's going to put it up on his channel. If it's shorter, he'll put it up on TikTok and stuff. I'm very curious to see where this goes. I do think that the internet has really glommed onto it, and most people seem to be taking it at face value, totally believing that it's real, but it's quite easy to fool over TikTok. I mean, think about the TikTok telephone effect, even just with the Annabelle story that we just talked about. Like, TikTok fully started a rumor that Annabelle was missing that everybody just believed. So I don't think that it's the hardest place to get people to take something spooky very seriously, even if it's not real. This guy's very creative, I'll give him that. I think it's interesting that we've seen him in two separate Scary Side of TikToks now for very different reasons. Seems like he's up to a whole bunch of stuff, and I certainly will be keeping up at least with the shoes. I don't know about the beast. I don't know if The beast has me. I don't think I'm out here trying to whisper to the creepy AI baby doll beast, but I do think the shoe thing is really interesting. I'm excited. I guess I use that word loosely to see where it goes. But yeah, this was just a little bit more of a chill video with you guys, sitting down and going through this together, and I do hope you all enjoyed. If you did, go on and give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. A special thank you to my subscribers who are members of the channel. If you want to join the channel memberships and get extra members exclusive perks like members only videos, polls that may decide on future video topics, and so much more, you can click that little join button somewhere around the screen. We would love to have you. An extra special thank you to my VIP loves for their continued and generous support of the channel. I love and appreciate you all very, very much. I love you all very much. I will see you in the next video, and until then, do not go buying any creepy shoes on the dark web. All right? All right. All right. Bye, guys.